Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody is keeping well. I went live yesterday and I messed it up a little bit, but I think we've nailed going live on YouTube this morning. I'm just gonna double check that it's working. I'm pretty sure it is, but I just thought I'm just gonna check that it's working. It is. Okay, fab. So this morning I'm going to show you how to make a really quick and easy rose. If you've not made one before, this is the one for you. It's going to be really easy for you to follow, and yeah, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. I'm going to show you from really easy basic steps, from what paste to use, how to colour your paste, how to make the rose obviously, and all those lovely finishing touches as well. So yeah, let me just make sure that it's got sound on because I messed up so much yesterday. Yes, it's fine. Okay, brilliant. So I'm going to swap my camera around. So I'm just going to go through all of my bits and bobs that I've got in front of me. So we've got a workboard, a 9-inch rolling pin. I've got some 22 gauge wire, some green wire, a ball tool. I've got a number 2 brush with some glue. I've got my iced coffee, which is essential. I've got a really small salbird, it's about 1 inch, a small little cone salbird. And I've got these lovely cutters from FMM. So this one is a 7.5 and this one is a 9, I think. Oh, it says on the side. This one is a size 8 and that one's size 9, but it's 7.5 centimetres and 9 centimetres. You're also going to need some Trex. Trex is really great because if your paste is getting sticky, you can just pop a little bit of Trex on your fingers and it will really help stop that paste from sticking. Obviously some colour and some cocktail sticks. I'm using Sugar Flare Dusky Pink and I have got my florist paste as well. So I'm using Squire's Kitchen florist paste. It's always my preferred one to use whenever I'm making flowers. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, please feel free to come find me on Instagram. I am at Blue Door Bakery, and I'm always happy to help you with any questions that you've got. Right, let us get started. So I just want to prepare a salbird because I want this onto a wire so that if we go and put it on the cake, obviously that the wire can then be put into a posy pick and then into the cake. If you're doing it for cupcakes, I would recommend not using one of these polystyrene centres. I would recommend just making that shape from florist paste. It will, and then obviously it's all completely edible then. But I'm going to take my wire and just poke it directly through the polystyrene. Obviously if you've got a hot glue gun, which I have, you could always just hot glue it on the bottom, but I didn't want to do that today. So I'm just poke the wire through there, then I'm bringing it down underneath, right underneath, and then just giving it a twist. And then just carry on twisting the 2 wires down. And then you've got your salbird that's really easy on a wire then, ready to go. I will just say I am at my home studio and the door's open, so the dogs are in the garden, so if you hear barking, it's just the noisy dogs, that's all. Right, so I bought these from Amazon, I think, a really long time ago. If you go to my Amazon shop, if you go to my Instagram, the link for my Amazon shop is on there, and all the products that I'm using can be found in there. So I've got that ready. Next thing I want to do is just colour up some paste. So I'm using, like I said, I'm using Squire's Kitchen paste. I really like using this paste. I find it's the best one to use, and believe me, I have tried them all. Some of them I find too sticky, some of them I find too soft, so there's lots that are just no good, whereas I find this, yes, like it's really firm to use, but it also works really well. So yeah, I really like this one. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of colour in and we'll mix that up. So just keep kneading it in your hands, pulling it and folding it until it's all completely mixed through. Can you see where it's starting to get sticky? So this is where you would just add a little bit of Trex onto your fingers, and honestly, like, it's an absolute game changer. It really helps. That's a very pretty colour. Dusky pink, this one is, from Sugar Flare. Okay, so I'm just going to start. I've got a few little lumps in here. I don't think I sealed my bag up very well of the florist paste. Note to self, don't leave it open. Right then, so I'm going to pop a little bit of corn flour on my work surface, and I'm just going to start to roll this out. I just turned it over once because I wanted a little bit of corn flour on both sides. So I'm just keeping it one way now, and we're just going to roll that out. So the trick is with making sugar flowers is to get it as thin as you possibly can go. So stand up if you are struggling, give it some welly, like put some weight behind it, but we want it as thin as possible. I'm going to keep going. It's really thin already, but I know I can get it thinner. Okay, so I'm going to try and hold it up for you guys to see how thin that is, like about 1 millimetre. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut out one of the small ones, so just hand flat on the top, and then I'll cut out 2 of the larger ones. So we've got 1, 2. So all this, pop back in your cling film or your food bag. So I've just got a foam mat here. So I'm just going to pop them onto the foam mat. So I really like using these ball tools. Little swig of coffee. These are the metal ones, which I find much better. Plastic ones are absolutely fine as well, but personally I really like the metal ones. I tend to stick most of the time with one that's about 1 centimetre in size. So I'm just going to rub a tiny little bit of Trex onto here, and now we're just going to rub it all the way around the edge of these petals. So have your ball tool hanging over the edge, and you can see that it's just made them slightly frilly. You can use a bigger ball tool if you want, but personally I just tend to stick to one of these. So half on and half off the edge, and we'll just go round. And obviously you can make them as frilly as you want. If I hold that up a bit closer for you, you might be able to see. So it's just, if I show you this one that I haven't done and the one that I have, you can see it just adds that little extra something to the around the edge. And I like these cutters as well because they've got that little point in the middle, which is really pretty roses. Keep adding that Trex on if you do find it sticking to the paste at all. You don't want it to rip and then for you to have to start again. I just tend to pop a little bit of Trex in the palm of my hand and just keep rubbing them on. Okay. Right then, so just leave those there. So I'm going to start off with my smallest one. So I'm going to actually turn it over. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to take some of my glue and we're going to glue a little bit in the middle. So if we name the petals 1 to 5, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just in a clockwise direction. I'm going to completely glue number 1 and number 3. Obviously it doesn't matter where you start because all the petals are the same. So glue in the middle, and then glue number 1 and number 3, and then glue halfway up the others. Whenever you're gluing paste, please make sure you don't add too much because it will become very, very sticky. So now I'll pick this up onto my fingers, and now I'm just going to thread the wire through the middle. Okay, so now we've got glue on number 1 and number 3. So I'm just going to pick up number 1, bring it to the side of that bud here, and we'll just wrap it round. So I'm going to pinch it just very gently but quite close around the top, because I don't really want to see the polystyrene. And then number 3 goes on the other side. So just bring it up on the other side, and again just pinch it quite close around the top. And now we've got 2, 4 and 5 left. So I just spread them out a little bit just so they're a bit more even. And then we can just bring them up in turn. So we've got that one, and then that one, and then this one. So what we've made really, really quickly is a very cute little rosebud. So I'm just going to peel back this one and tuck that inside just so that they're all in sequence. Now what I like to do for this first row is I just want to kind of make it a little bit tighter in the middle. So I'm just going to add a little bit more glue just on the petals that's on the inside, and just tuck them in a little bit more. So it's just a little bit tighter, just makes it look like the flower's opening out a little bit more. So there's that one. So then we've got our other 2. So again, I'm just going to separate these petals before I add the glue on. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over, and we're going to add some glue. So we're going to add the middle and then halfway up all of the petals. Okay, so then we'll do exactly the same again. So we'll pick it up, pop it in our hand and thread that wire through, and we'll just sit that in the middle. And then we're just going to bring them up one at a time. So we'll bring one up and we'll just stick that on, and then the next one. So the next one will naturally overlap that first one that you've put on. So we're just going to keep going round, just bringing them up. Not like, it's quite a natural looking flower, not too structured. So bring them all up in turn, and then I'm going to peel back the first one, tuck the last one inside, and then close it up. So we've got this really cute little rose. So obviously you could just leave it as that, or you can go ahead and add another row on, which is what I'm going to do because I've got one cut out here. So I'm just going to peel again, just peel these apart just so that they're not too stuck, and then flip it over, bit of glue in the middle, and then halfway up each one. And then thread that through, and then over where one of the join is before, that's where you're going to pop your first petal over there, and then we'll just do the same again. So just bring each one up in turn. Okay, and then peel back the first one that you stuck up, and then stick the last one in, and then close that over, and you've got that really lovely rose. So you can do this and that's ready to go like in a big cake. Obviously when it's dried, you could make it all with polystyrene, sorry, not with polystyrene, then it'd be fine for a cupcake. So yeah, really, really easy rose. Obviously it needs to dry a little bit, but you can just go ahead and manipulate it and get it looking all pretty, but really easy, especially with these cutters as well. Like, they don't tend to make anything too complicated at all. So yeah, super easy rose. So I hope you've liked it. I'd love it if you had to go. If you've had to go, drop me a message on Instagram or send me a picture or tag me in something that you've made, because I would really like to see what you've done. But pretty cute, huh? Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to be live at about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to be doing some really easy a dummy cake covering. So I know a lot of people struggle with covering dummy cakes, so I'm going to show you how to cover a dummy cake. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in the morning. Any questions, let me know, or like I said, just drop me a message on Instagram at @BlueDoorBake.